fantastic weekend. Hope that your Monday so far has been great. We're about to go ahead and get into this lesson. I want to start off by saying shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Okay, I absolutely loved everything about that Super Bowl performance yesterday, and there's a lot of people who act like it wasn't all that. I don't mean all the shit talking. Okay, just say you didn't understand. Just say that. Just say you didn't get it. Okay, shout out to him. I can't wait for the tour. Okay, I'm super excited. But yeah, anyways, back on topic. Today we're going to be tapping in, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to read a birth chart. We're going to go through all of the placements, all of the different meanings behind these placements. I'm going to give you guys some advice on places to get your birth chart if you don't already have it. We're going to go through all of that. So go ahead and share this video right here with people who you feel like would want to be in on this lesson, anyone who could use the messages or the information or the knowledge or whatever. Also, likes do help get this video circulated in the algorithm, so please feel free to like. I do have a gift goal as well, so feel free to contribute to that. If you do need to reload your gifts at any point, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins. Okay, if it does not allow you to reload there, then there's really not much else that we can kind of do. Thank you for the gifts. But this is a gift-based community. It's just a way of showing your appreciation for the space, for the information, and everything like that. Okay, so let's get into birth charts. Okay, birth chart 101. I want to start off by explaining what your birth chart is, because a lot of people may not have the information on why a birth chart is even important, what it even is, what its purpose is. So I'm going to go through that first. So your birth chart is basically a breakdown of where all of the planets were at the moment that you entered this realm. Okay, so your birth date, okay, the day you was born, as well as the time that you were born, creates this breakdown. Okay, so if you were born on whatever date at whatever time, there were planets that were in certain zodiac signs at that time, which are placements. We call those placements. Okay, so anytime you hear the word placement, we are talking about where the planets were or where the planets are at that current time. Okay, so your birth chart is basically a screenshot or a snapshot of where everything was at the exact time that you came into this realm. Okay, so in order to pull your birth chart, you need to know your birth time. Okay, so you need to know the time that you was born, and you also need to know your birth date. Okay, so the month, the day, and the year. And then you also need to know the exact location, so the city and the state that you were born in. Okay, so there are 3 components to your birth chart. All right, your birth date, okay, your birth time, okay, let me zoom in just a smidge, okay, and birth location. Okay, you need to know your birth date, your birth time, and the location of where you were born, the city, the state, and the country. Okay? If you don't have any of these pieces, whether you don't have the birth time, whether you don't know the city or the state or the country, then you cannot pull your birth chart. Simple as that. Okay? Thank you for the gifts. You need all 3 of these components in order for you to be able to get the most accurate screenshots of your birth chart, the most accurate information from your birth chart. Okay? You especially need your birth time, and AM and PM does matter. So you need to know if it was in the rising time or in the afternoon or the evening. That's important because these planets, they move every so many hours, every so many days, every so many months. Okay, so all of this is very important. Okay, now you can pull your birth chart for free online. You can go to Google and just type in free birth chart calculator or something along those lines, and it will take you to a website that will allow you to put this information in, and it will give you your birth chart. Okay, I do offer readings on birth charts, so if you want to book that, you can go to the link in my bio, go to my website, and you can book that if you do want that. But you can get the chart for free. Okay, you can get the chart for free. Now, if you want me to pull it for you, I can, but you can get it for free. All right, so again, you need your birth date, okay, the month, the day, the year. You need your birth time, the exact time, and you need to know whether it was AM or PM, okay? And you need your birth location, the city, the state, and the country. If you do not have these things, you cannot get your birth chart. Simple as that. Now, your birth time can be located on your birth certificate. If it's not on your birth certificate, then you can either go to the hospital you were born and try to get your record of birth, or you can go to, I believe it's a Social Security office or one of those offices downtown in a government office, and see if they have your official birth certificate. If your official birth certificate is there, it should have the time on it. If it doesn't have the time, I don't know too many other options that you have, okay? Because birth time is very important when it comes to your birth chart, okay? Now, again, your birth chart is a snapshot of your birth chart is a snapshot of the planet's placements at the time of your birth. That's all that it is, okay? Now, we get a lot of information from our birth chart based on where those planets were, and that kind of makes us who we are, or the energy from those placements adds to who we are, okay? Or who we will eventually become, or some of the energies that will affect us as we go through this life, okay? So I like to say that your birth chart is almost a cheat code. It's almost like a DNA type of depiction almost of who you are as a person, the energies that make you you, the things that make you happy, sad, angry, upset, the things that may be difficult for you, the things that may be easier for you. It can affect your relationships with other people, or give you an understanding of how you may relate to other people when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to friendships. It can give you information on how, or one of the best ways for you to make money, one of the best ways for you to grow, or for you to learn, or for you to, you know, just go through life, period, okay? So having your birth chart is a cheat code. And let me say this: do not share your birth chart with other people. I'm gonna repeat that. Do not share or show your birth chart to other people. It has nothing to do with them. Okay? Your birth chart holds information on who you are, on the things that, you know, again, may be difficult for you, the things that may be easy for you. Thank you for the gifts, the energies that you possess, so on and so forth. So you don't want to, it's like giving somebody a cheat sheet to you. And people can use your birth chart to manipulate you, to take advantage of you, to do lots of different things. Okay? So this is a private thing. Okay? Don't let nobody know what the placements are of your birth chart. Just don't do it. I see so many people do that, and you don't understand that you're giving power away when you do that. You're giving people insight on ways to, you know, manipulate you, or to, distract you, or they can use it for any type of ways, and you don't want anybody to have that type of control over you in your life. All right, so let's start getting into these placements and what they mean. Again, if you don't have your birth chart, you can simply go online. You can go on Google and type in free birth chart calculator, and it will take you to a site that will allow you to put in the information that we just had here, so that you can get your birth chart. Okay, so it should be free. You shouldn't ever have to pay for a birth chart. So if somebody's trying to make you pay to pull your birth chart, is usually, you know, they just trying to get some money from you. You shouldn't have to pay for it. There's too many free sites where you can put this information in and get your entire birth chart, you know, for yourself. Okay. Now, if people are going to break it down for you, like I offer a service to break your birth chart down for you and help you make sense of it, then that's different. But to pull the actual chart, that should be free. Okay, you can get that done for free. All right. So let's start getting into these placements. We're going to start with what we call your core placements. Okay, your core placements, aka your big three. And we've heard this terminology used a lot. Okay, you hear about the big three all the time. Okay, so your big three will be your sun sign. Okay, your sun sign is the day that you were born. So this would be if you're born, let's say January 4th, 1994, then your sun sign will automatically be Capricorn, because the sun was in Capricorn January 4th. The sun is always in Capricorn January 4th. Okay, if you were born March 15th, then you will be a Pisces, because the sun is always in Pisces March 15th. Okay, if you were born September 3rd, then you will be a Virgo, because the sun is always a Virgo on September 3rd. Okay, now the sun represents your core identity. Okay, your core identity, your ego, as well as your life purpose. Okay, thank you for the gift. So your sun represents your core identity, your ego, and your life purpose. So this is the core of who you are, the core of your being. Okay, the energy that you represent usually the most, or the energy that stands out about you usually the most. Okay, when it comes to your ego, this could also be the area where your ego shows up. Okay, so for example, if you are born August 5th, you will be a sun sign Leo, right? Leo rules, the sun rules Leo. Okay, so ego will be a little higher for those specific placements because of the fact that the sun rules the sign. Okay, sun also represents your life purpose. What are you here to do? What are you here to carry out? What are you here to show the world? Okay, what are you here to accomplish? So on and so forth. Okay? Our second placement is the moon. Okay? So you have your sun sign. Again, this is the big three. So these are your three major placements. Your sun sign, which is core, identity, ego, and life purpose. The moon represents emotions. Okay? Your inner self. Okay? I always spell this word wrong. As well as your subconscious. Alright? So, your sun sign is more out there. How are you when you show up, your confidence level, all of those things, right? The moon is more so what lies beneath the surface. Okay, so these are the things that you're not as open about. These are the ways about you that you kind of hide from the world, or even things that you may not be 100% sure about in regards to yourself. Okay, this also represents your inner self. Okay, so the relationship that you have with yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself, the connection you have with yourself, all of that. Okay, so the sun is who you are on the outside. The moon is who you are on the inside. Okay, our last placement of our big three. I don't know why this marker is acting like this. Is our rising or ascendant sign. Okay? So whether you call it a rising sign, whether you call it an ascendant sign, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit. Same thing, just different words. Okay? Now the rising sign is represents your outer personality. Okay? The way that you act on, outwardly, the way that you express yourself, right? The way that you show up to other people, the way that people may receive you. Okay? We can also say that, I hate these markers right now. This can also be the first impression that people have of you as well. Okay? These markers suck booty. This is also how you navigate life. Okay? So, let's recap. This is the big three. Our big three is basically our core placements. All right? These are your main placements that kind of are like an entire introduction to who you are as a person. Okay? Your sun sign is your core identity. That's who you are at the basis of your energy. Okay? That's if anybody was to basically, give a synopsis of who you are, your characteristics, it will probably align with your sun sign. Okay? It also represents your ego, and it represents your life purpose. Okay? This could also be the area that you may struggle with ego. All right? So, if you are a sun sign Virgo, then your ego could be highlighted in the sign of Virgo. If you are a sun sign Sagittarius, then your ego could probably be highlighted in the sign of Sagittarius. Okay? It also can determine or help you determine your life purpose. What are you here to do? In what ways are you here to change, yourself or the world around you, so on and so forth. Okay? Your moon sign. These are your emotions. How you feel on the inside, your inner self. Who are you within your being, right? It also represents your subconscious. So the parts of you that you don't usually share, the parts of you that you kind of keep sacred or secret, okay? The parts of you that people usually don't know too much about, your feelings. It could also be, the ways that you think about yourself or you think about life in general, okay? When you think about the moon, think about the dark side of the moon, right? The dark side of the moon, you never really see it. It's usually, not visible, okay? So on and so forth. That's how you need to think about your moon, okay? Then we have our rising or ascendant. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's the same shit, all right? Your rising or your ascendant sign is your outer personality. So this is how people receive you. When you walk into a room and people make a judgment based on what they see from you, it's usually based on your rising sign, okay? This is also a first impression of you. So again, upon meeting you, upon being around you, upon being in your energy, usually, again, the synopsis that people kind of make or the summary of your energy that people kind of take from you would be based on your rising sign. Okay? This is also how you navigate life. So the ways in which you navigate life, or the principles or the morals or the values or the perspectives that you use to go through life usually will align with your rising sign. Now, I do not suggest, again, that anybody share their birth chart placements. Your birth chart, again, is a private cheat code to who you are and the energy that you possess. So sharing that shit with everybody is basically like giving people a play-by-play of how to manipulate you, how to use you, how to get over on you. You're giving them way too much information. Do not share your birth chart with anybody. Nobody. Okay? Now, if you do share these placements, it's not as bad, right? Because these are the core placements. And these are usually the ones that people share. Oh, I'm at this moon and this rising and this sun, and I'm at this and I'm at that and I'm at this and I'm at that. I still wouldn't suggest telling everybody all of that. But if you do share anything, these are the placements to share. Don't share shit else. Okay? Don't share nothing else. We are just getting started, so I know you guys have a lot of questions about a lot of different aspects of the birth chart. We are just starting. So bear with me. We're going to go step by step through the entire birth chart. Okay? I'll get into specifics when we get to those specific places. We're not on houses yet. We're not even close to that yet. We still have to get through planets. All right, so be patient. I know there's a lot of people excited about this. I know there's a lot of people who have questions. Be patient, go with the flow, and we're going to go in order, okay? Because this is how you would read your birth chart. You start with these signs, all right? All right, so screenshot this, and then we're going to move on to the planets. Thank you. Again, we are a gift-based community, so feel free to gift as you see fit. If you cannot reload your gifts on the app, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins. It's just a way of showing your appreciation for the lesson and for the space. Also, likes and shares do also help to get this video pushed in the algorithm so more people can get the information. So please feel free to do that as well. All right, everybody good on this? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's move on to our planet placements. We also are a helpful community. So if you see anyone in the comments asking questions about something that we already went over, or if they have questions about things I've already kind of addressed, please feel free to share that with the people in the comments. Okay? Each one teach one. We all here to help each other. Alright. Yes, so again, for those just joining, in order to pull your birth chart, you need your date of birth, the month, the date, and the year. You need your exact time of birth, whether that's AM or PM, okay? Usually you can find out on your birth chart. If it's not on your birth chart, you can go get your official birth chart from, I forget what government office you get it from. I don't know if it's a Social Security office or not. I don't really know. But you can go get your official birth chart, or you can go to the hospital that you were born at and see if they can pull your record of birth, okay? If you cannot find your time of birth, then unfortunately you will not be able to pull your birth chart. So you need that information. You also need the city, the state, and the country that you were born in. I'm not doing anyone's birth chart specifically. We're going through how to read your birth chart. If you want to pull your birth chart, you can go online, go on Google, type in free birth chart calculator, and it will give you the options to put your information in and pull your birth chart so that you know what your placements are. I'm not pulling anyone's birth chart on here. Okay? Alright, so now we're about to get into the planets. Alright? Now, each particular place, see, don't do this right here. Viva, please delete that. Don't do that. And I'm going to tell you guys why. You do not share this information with everybody. Delete your comment if you can. We do not share our birth chart information with anybody. That's a no-no. Don't tell nobody what your birth chart is. Don't tell nobody what your placements are. This is a private thing that only you should know. Okay? You basically are giving people ammunition to figure out who you are, what you got going on, what your energy is, how they can manipulate it, how they can play with you, and all types of things. It's not going to let me delete it. But don't do that. Okay? Let me see if I... It should have allowed me to delete that real fast. Do not share your birth chart with anybody. Okay? Don't share. Don't do that. Alright? Alright, so let's get through these planets. Thank you for the gift. Our first planet is going to be Mercury. Mercury is our first placement. So again, I'm going in order of how it's going to show up on your birth chart. It's going to show you your big three first, which is your sun, moon, rising / ascendant, which is what we went through first. And then the very next planet that is going to show you is your Mercury. All right? Your Mercury is all about communication, thinking, and intellect. Okay? If you want to watch this later, you can click the link in my bio and subscribe to my YouTube, because this will be posted there. Alright? So your Mercury placement is the way you are able to communicate, or how you communicate, how you think, okay, or your thought process, and your intellect or your intellectual abilities. Okay? So usually people that have Gemini or Virgo Mercury placements, they kind of excel with this particular placement because Mercury rules both of those signs. It doesn't mean that you have to have those placements in this area in order to be smart or intellectual or any of those things. Thank you for the gift. But you do have an advantage when you have the zodiacs that are ruled by this sign in this placement. Okay? So your Mercury placement is the way that you communicate, your thought process, and your intellectual ability. All right? Your next placement would be Venus. Your Venus sign is all about love, relationships, beauty, okay? And your values. Okay? So your Venus sign rules love. So this is your love life or the way that you love. So love in general. It doesn't always have to be romantic. It also rules your relationships. So that's any relationship. Okay? Love relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, co-worker relationships. It doesn't matter. Okay? Well, whatever ship it is. Okay? Thank you for the gifts. It also rules beauty or your idea of what beauty is. Right? What you think beauty is. Your definition of beauty. We all have a different definition of beauty. Right? We don't all see beauty in the same light. Right? What I may think is beautiful, you may not think is beautiful. Okay? It also rules your values. So what do you value in this life? It's usually associated with your Venus sign. Okay? Now the zodiac signs ruled by Venus is Taurus and Libra. So if you have a Taurus Venus placement or a Libra Venus placement, then it will heighten this particular placement for you. Okay? Not to say that you have to have those placements in this area or those zodiac signs in this particular placement. But if you do have that here, it will be heightened. Okay? Overall, your Venus is all about how you love, how you relate or your relationships, what you deem beauty or what is beautiful, okay? And also your values. What do you value in life? What do you value in life? Okay? Our next planet is Mars. Okay? So we're going in order. So we have our sun, moon, and rising. Then we will have our Mercury. Then our Venus. And now we have Mars. Again, I understand a lot of you guys want specifics because of your personal birth chart. Do not share your placements in the comments. Please, 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 please. I guess I'm going to have to repeat that a couple of times as we go through the rest of this lesson. What about this sign? What about that sign? Don't do that, because what you're telling me is that you have a placement in that you have that placement in that space. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I understand we're curious and we love the knowledge and we want more information. But don't do that. Okay? Treat your birth chart like your social security. Literally. Treat your birth chart like it's your social security. You don't just be sharing your social security like, hey, what about if your last digits is 4471? Or yeah, like, no, we don't need to know that. Okay? Keep it to yourself. It is like a social security for you in your life. Think of it like that. All right? The signs for Venus is Taurus and Libra. It doesn't mean that you will have Taurus or Libra in this particular spot. It just means Venus rules those signs. So if you have those signs under its ruling planet, then it kind of emphasizes the energy. All right? Mars is the planet of, action, passion, ambition, and aggression is the last one. Okay? Mars is your placement for action, passion, ambition, and aggression. All right? So, the way that you take action, or your ability to take action, all right? Your passions, how you go about your passions, how you take initiative, how you approach your passions, okay? It could also symbolize what your passions may be, okay, or what you may be passionate about, all right? It also covers your ambitions, okay? So whatever ways you may be ambitious, or what your ambitions may be, can be decided by your Mars placement, all right? It also can cover your aggression. So the ways in which you can be aggressive, the ways in which you can show up when you are in that agitated state. All right? Now, Mars's zodiac sign that it rules is Aries. So if you have an Aries in Mars, then this placement can be a little bit more heightened for you because of the fact that it rules Aries. Doesn't mean that you have to have an Aries in Mars. It just means that, again, if you have that zodiac under its ruling planet, then the energy is heightened. Okay? So let's review. All right? We have our Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. You do not have to have Gemini or Virgo in this placement, but if you do, then that energy is heightened. Okay? Mercury rules your communication, so your ability to communicate, your ability to have conversation, your ability to problem solve through conversation, your ability to communicate your feelings, whatever, okay? It rules your thinking processes, or your thought processes, okay? How you figure things out, how you basically get things to make sense in your head, okay? And it rules intellect, your ability to learn, your ability to understand, your ability to think about certain things from a certain perspective, or whatever, okay? Our next placement is Venus. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So if you have Taurus or Libra in your Venus placement, then that energy will be heightened. It doesn't mean that you have to have Taurus and Libra there. It just means that if you do, the energy is heightened. Venus rules love, all right? So your ability to love, the way that you love, how you show up when it comes to love, okay? It also rules your relationships. How are you in relationship, okay? The way that you pursue relationships, the way that you are in relationships, the way that you relate in relationships, okay? It also rules beauty, your idea of beauty. Okay, so what do you think is beautiful? What do you think represents beauty? Okay, when you think about the word beauty, what does that mean to you? Okay, and last but not least, it rules your values. Okay, what do you find valuable, or what do you look at as being valuable to you in your life? Okay, that will be determined by your Venus. Our last placement for this particular section is Mars. Mars rules Aries. So if you have Aries as your Mars placement, then this energy will be heightened. Again, it does not mean that you have to have an Aries Mars placement. It just means if you do have it there, then it's going to emphasize that energy even more. All right? But your Mars rules your action. How do you take action? Right? What does it look like when you take action towards anything? It doesn't just mean work. It doesn't just mean career. It doesn't just mean relationship. It means anything. Okay? What does you taking action look like? Okay? It also rules your passions. What are you passionate about? right? What gets you going, right? What do you feel like, you know, you really, really love to do or talk about, or anything pertaining to your passions, okay? Your ambitions, okay? What does your ambition or your ambitious side look like? When you are ambitious about something, what does that look like, okay? And your aggression, so your attitude, your demeanor when it comes to things that may not be going your way or things that may not be favorable, okay? How do you show up, all right? Leo is ruled by the sun. It's not ruled by Mars. Mars only rules Aries, okay? Screenshot this, and then we're going to move on to our next placements. Alright, let's move on. Again, if you need to reload your gifts, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins. Likes are most definitely appreciated, and shares are just as appreciated. Shout out to everybody who is already gifted. Shout out to everybody who has liked, who has shared so far. It is much appreciated. Much, much, much appreciated. Alright. Right along. It's okay. Make sure as I'm writing, you're writing, because then I'm going to give you 15 seconds after I finish for everybody to get the details that were written down before I move on to the next thing. Okay? So I'm trying to give you guys as much time as possible, but I also don't want to take too much time. Alright? Now, these are what we will call our social placements. Okay? The first one would be Jupiter. Okay? Let's see if this marker working good now. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, luck, wisdom, and abundance. Okay? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So if you do have a Sagittarius placement in your Jupiter placement, then that energy will be heightened. It doesn't mean that you have to have Sagittarius there. It just means it will be heightened because this is its ruling planet, okay? But Jupiter represents expansion. How do things grow in your life? How do things expand for you in your life? That doesn't always mean positively. It also can mean negatively. All right, for anybody coming in, do not share your birth date. Don't share your birth time. Don't share any information that will basically let me know how to access your chart. Don't do that here, okay? I'm trying to keep y'all safe from yourself at this point. Y'all want to share everything with everybody. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Jupiter also rules luck. So in what ways are you lucky in your life? How does luck usually show up for you? Okay, some people are lucky in certain ways. Some people are lucky in other ways. Some people may be lucky in money, finances. Some people may be more lucky in love. Some people may be more lucky in intellect or knowledge. Some people may be more lucky in work or career. Okay, it just depends on who you are and what your placements are. Wisdom, the areas that you are wise. Okay, how do you show up when it comes to wisdom, right? This is different from Mercury, because we know Mercury rules intellect, right? This is different from intellect. Wisdom is applied knowledge. It's not just the knowing of things, it's how you apply the things that you know. All right? It also rules abundance. What does abundance look like in your life? Right? What does abundance mean to you? Okay? It's okay if you don't believe in luck. Luck, I mean, it's just your ability to excel in a specific area in your own way. So think of it like that. Okay? You don't have to think of it as any other way but that. I don't know why luck gets such a bad rep. But it just means how are you able to be favored by the universe or by spirit, source, God, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same stuff. But how are you favored? When you are favored, what does it usually look like? Think about it like that. All right, our next social placement is Saturn. Okay? Hold on, y'all. All right, so Saturn rules Capricorn. So if you do have a Saturn in Capricorn, then this energy will be heightened. Again, you do not have to have a Saturn here in Capricorn, but if you do, the energy is just heightened. Okay? So Saturn represents discipline, responsibility, karma, as well as structure. Okay? Again, do not tell me what your birth placements are. I understand y'all are super excited and you want to share with the world what your placements are. We don't need to know. Please, 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 please stop doing that. Please, please. Please, please, please. Okay? I know some of y'all are new, I understand, but I gotta say it. This is your social security number. Your placements are your social security. You're basically telling people what is all up with you. We don't need to know that. That's like showing somebody your medical records. We don't need to know. Okay? We don't need to know. Don't tell nobody your placements. If you're going to share anything, the big three is it. Sun, moon, and rising. And for real, I don't really want y'all to share that, honestly. But if you're going to share anything, that's cool. Any other placements, keep it to yourself. You're giving people a DNA of who you are. And everybody don't have the same heart as you. So some people will use that to play you, to manipulate you, to get what they want from you. Don't do that. Okay? And I got to say it like that because I want you guys to feel how serious I am. Yes, everybody's intentions are not pure. So don't share your placements, okay? I understand everybody's excited and don't do it. Not here, at least. If you're going to do it somewhere else, but don't do it here. All right? Now, Saturn rules discipline. How are you disciplined in life? In what ways are you the most disciplined and what areas are you not so disciplined in? Okay? Responsibility. How do you show up when it comes to your responsibilities? Do you commit to responsibilities? Are you kind of lazy when it comes to responsibilities? What does that look like? Karma. What are some of the things that you may deal with in your life? There are certain karmas that we deal with based on what zodiac sign rules our Saturn. Okay? Karma is not always a bad thing. Karma just means the return of energy based on what you have put out. Okay? So what does karma look like when it shows up in your life? On a good playing field and on a bad playing field. Okay? Some people's karma just looks different based on what their placements are. Alright? Structure. Y'all gotta stop putting y'all placements in these comments, please. Please, 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 please. Stop putting your placements in the comments. 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 Do I have moderators in this live? I don't know if I do or not, but somebody just repeat over and over for me in the comments. Don't share your placements. Okay? At some point as I'm doing this, even if I pin it, it's only going to be up there for 30 seconds, and I'm going to have to keep repinning it. Just, okay? Thank you, Miss Miko. Thank you. Just repeat that over and over, because please don't do that. All right, so these are our social placements. Okay? These are our social placements. All right? The first one is Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It does not mean that you have to have Sagittarius in its placement, but if you do, that energy will be heightened, which means it will be felt a little bit more. Okay? Thank you, guys. Jupiter rules your expansion in your life, or how things expand for you in your life. Okay? It also rules luck. So in what ways do you have favor when it comes to your journey? In what ways are you favored when it comes to your journey, when it comes to your life? Wisdom, your ability to act on the things that you know. Your ability to take the knowledge that you have and use it in your life. Okay? And your abundance. What does abundance look like for you? How does abundance show up for you in your life? What to know if karma is negative or positive. So karma is all based on what you put out. Karma just means, if I like to break things down into its most simplistic form. So when you think about karma, think about, what have I put out? Karma just means what you put out is coming back to you. That's all karma means. So if you put out good, then good karma will find you. If you put out bad, then bad karma will find you. Karma itself is not a bad thing. It is just the act of a return of energy. Okay? Now, we're not always putting out good, and we're not always putting out bad. But we do both. Right? So your Saturn placement will basically show, like, okay, when you do put out bad karma, what ways will it affect you? When you put out good karma, what ways will it affect you? Okay? Now, you also have something called your Saturn return. Just like we have a solar return, which basically is our birthday. That's just another way for your birthday, right? Or another name for your birthday. We have a Saturn return. We have a Jupiter return. We have a Mercury return. We have all types of quote-unquote returns, right? And what that means is that that planet is back in the exact placement that it was in when you were born, okay? So when you have your Saturn return, which I think is usually at the age of 29. I think the first one is at 29, and then you have them progressively as you go throughout life. It's basically going to be a return of all of the energy that you put out. Based on all the energy that you put out over these first however many years, this is your Saturn return. So this is what this year is going to kind of give back to you. Okay? Saturn also is discipline. How do you discipline yourself? Right? In what areas of your life are you the most disciplined? In what areas do you lack discipline? Okay? Responsibility. How do you show up when it comes to responsibilities? Are you even a responsible person? Are you responsible only in certain areas and not others? Okay? And then structure. How do you structure your life? Right? Are you structured based on principles, based on values, based on love, based on relationship, based on passion, whatever, okay? It all depends on what zodiac sign you have in this Saturn placement that will determine how you show up in these specific areas. All right? Go ahead and screenshot this, and then we're going to move on to our final 3 planets, and then we're going to get into our houses. Do not share your placements in my comments. Keep it to yourself, please, and thank you. Yes, it's very strict in here because everybody not for you. All intentions are not pure. And my job is to keep y'all safe and keep y'all protected from things that you can't see. Alright? So we strict for a reason. We not strict because we mean. We strict because we want to protect you and keep you safe. Alright? Alright, moving on. Our last 3 placements or planet placements. And then we're going to get into our houses. Thank you for those in the comments, keeping everybody aware. I appreciate all of you guys. Each one teach one. We all here to help each other, okay? Now, if you want to share your placements outside of this live, that's your business. But in this live, we're not doing that, okay? Poca want to keep y'all safe, as safe as possible. All right? This is Allstate. You are in good hands, okay? Period. All right, so these will be called our outer placements. Okay? Our first planet will be Uranus. All right? Uranus rules Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So if you do have an Aquarius placement in your Uranus area, okay, then that energy will be heightened. It doesn't mean that you have to have Aquarius in this place. It just means that if you do, the energy is heightened. Okay? Aquarius is all about innovation, rebellion, and sudden change. Okay? So, with your Uranus placement, when it comes to innovation, how are you able to be innovative? In what ways are you innovative? Or in what ways do you come up with new ideas or new ways of thinking, new ways of being? How do you show up differently, okay, when it comes to different things in your life, okay? How do you create, okay? Rebellion. How do you rebel, and what does your rebellion look like? It's based on your Uranus placement, okay? How do you rebel, and what does rebellion look like for you? Do you rebel against the system, against the government, against your family, against relationships, against love, against money, against jobs, whatever? What does that look like for you? Okay? It also represents sudden change. So this is a good placement to know, especially when it comes to the way that your life can just rearrange itself. Okay? Uranus is one of those placements that is going to test you. It's going to put you in uncomfortable situations in order to promote growth. Uranus is one of those planets that wants you to be different. Dare to be different. Alright? So it's going to put you in different situations, different scenarios, so that you can see how you show up in those places. And of course, ultimately learn something from that. Okay? Our next placement is Neptune. Okay? Neptune is ruled by Scorpio, or Scorpio rules Neptune. Okay? So if you do have a Scorpio placement in this area, then that energy will be heightened. It doesn't mean that you have to have a Scorpio placement in this area, but it does mean that if you do, it will be heightened. Okay, thank you for the gift. Scorpio placements are all about not Scorpio, Pisces. I meant to say Pisces. Okay, Pisces, not Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Neptune's placement represents intuition. It represents dreams. Okay, illusions, and spirituality. All right, so your Neptune placement is intuition. All right, in what ways are you intuitive? How does your intuition show up? Okay, it represents the dream space. Okay, so this could be literal dreams, so actually when you're asleep, dreams. Okay, but this can also mean dreams for your life. Okay, the dreams that you have, the way that you see yourself in the future. Okay, illusions are also a big placement when it comes to Neptune. So what we all have our own set of illusions, right? We all have our own set of things that we kind of don't really see until we see it, right? And it looks different for everybody. For some people it could be love, for some people it could be relationship, for some people it could be money or career, for some people it could be family. Okay, what does that look like for you? It's based on this placement. This also represents spirituality. So how do you feel about spirituality? Your outlook on spirituality, the way that you approach spirituality, okay? How deep you get into spirituality. This is all based on your Neptune, okay? Your last planet is Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio, okay? So if you do have Scorpio in your Pluto placement, then that energy will be heightened. Again, it does not mean that you need to have Scorpio in that placement, but if you do, then the energy will be heightened. Okay? Pluto represents transformations. Okay? Power. All right? Rebirth. And hidden forces. Okay? So, Pluto represents transformation. How do you transform? What does transformation look like for you? Right? What abilities do you have to transform? How often do you transform? Okay? Your power, right? How do you show up? Are you showing up in a super powerful, energy, right? Or are you showing up sometimes a little weaker in certain areas than you should? Okay? Rebirth. What does rebirth look like for you? What does rebirth look like for you? In what ways are you reborn more than others? Okay, some areas we have consistent rebirth. Some areas we kind of struggle with rebirth or death and rebirth. So, closing out certain things so that other areas of our lives can bloom. Okay, and then hidden forces. What are some of the things that affect you subconsciously? Right? Some things that are hidden. Some things that, I would say like shadow work, right? The shadows of your energy. What are some of the things that are affecting you on those levels? Okay? Now remember, this is just what these planets represent on your birth chart. It will look a specific way based on what zodiac signs you have here. Right? So for example, if your Pluto is in Leo, then you will have a different experience of what these things may mean for you. Yes, this live will be posted to my YouTube. That link is in my bio. Okay? If you have a Sagittarius and Uranus, then that will mean your innovation, your rebellion, and your sudden change will be dictated by Sagittarius energy. Okay? So this is just an overall synopsis of what these planets mean. What they mean exactly for you and your birth chart is based on what planet, what zodiac signs you have in these placements. Okay? So go ahead and screenshot this, copy this, write it down. I'm going to give you a little minute, and then we're going to move on to our houses. All right, so let's get into our houses. So we went through our big three. We went through our other planet placements, and then we're going to go through our houses. All right? All of these placements are important to know. All right, your birth chart is all of these placements together. Okay, not just one placement, not just your big three, not just your planets, but everything together. Planets, houses, big three, all that good stuff. Okay? Again, your birth chart is your own personal DNA. What makes you who you are. Treat it like a social security number. Don't share it with nobody. Don't tell nobody what your placements are. You know, when you share stuff like that, people can again go use it to their advantage. Okay? All right, so let's get into our houses. All right, we're going to start with our first house. Okay? Similar to our sun definition, our first house represents personality, okay? Can also represent your appearance, as well as your first impression. Okay? So similar to our sun placement, your first house, which is also your personality, your appearance, first impression. So when I meet you, what are you giving? What's the vibe that you're giving? Okay? First house is also the same as your ascendant sign. Yes. Yes. Okay? So when you pull your birth chart, right? Again, you can go online, go on Google, type in free birth chart calculator, and it'll bring up the calculator, and you input your information. So you would need your time of birth, your date of birth, and your location, city and state and country. Okay? When you put all of that in, it's going to calculate your birth chart for you, and it's going to tell you your placements, all of your placements, your planet placements, your big three, and all 12 houses, because we have 12 houses. Okay? Your first house is also representative of your ascendant or your rising sign. So it's always going to be the same thing. So if your rising sign is Sagittarius, then your first house is in Sagittarius. If your rising sign is Scorpio, then your first house is Scorpio. Okay? First house and rising sign are always the same thing. Alright? Second house is all about money. Okay? Thank you for the gift. Possessions. Make sure I spell that right. Okay. Gotta make sure. Alright? Self-worth. And security. Alright? So this is the house that is going to help you understand your coin. Or one of the houses that will help you understand your coin. There's another one and we'll get to that one as well. But this is your money house for the most part. Alright? It's going to teach you about your relationship with money. Okay? It's going to teach you about your possessions. What are you possessive about? Right? What are you, how do you feel about the things that you have? It also determines your self-worth. How do you feel about you? Right? And security. Are you secure in your money? Are you secure in your self-identity or your self-worth? Are you secure within your relationships? Are you secure? What are you secure in? Okay? Do not share your birth chart placements in the comments. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Gracias. Alright. Third house. Your third house rules communication. Okay? It can also rule siblings. I switched markers in the red. That red was showing up way better than the damn black. Thinking. Learning. As well as social interactions. Okay? So third house is communication, the way that you communicate with others, with yourself, with whoever. It can also rule siblings, so your relationship with siblings, if you have siblings, even if you don't have biological siblings, it could be people that you would consider siblings as well. Okay, because we do have spiritual siblings, spiritual mothers, spiritual fathers, spiritual family members. Okay? Thinking, your thought processes. Okay? Your ability to think, your ability to come up with solutions. Okay? Learning. What does learning look like for you? Learning looks different for everybody. Some of us are book readers. Some of us like lectures or lessons like we're doing today. Some of us like audio learning, right? Some of us are visual learners. Some of us learn from experience, right? And then your social interactions. How do you interact with other people? Right? Are you more open, more outspoken? So if you have like a third house Gemini or a third house, don't tell me if you do or not, but if you have a third house Gemini or a third house Sagittarius or a third house Virgo or a third house Leo, right? Your social interactions will be more loud and not Virgo because they rule communication, but they will be more, you're prone to being a little bit more social, a little bit more able to communicate and talk to people and things of that nature. But if you have like a third house Capricorn or Scorpio, then you're more reserved when it comes to your social interactions. You're not as social. Okay? So that's that. All right? Fourth house. Fourth house is home, family, your roots, okay? Roots can also be generational, okay? Childhood, all right? Your emotional foundation, okay? As well as your private self. Yes, this will be on YouTube. Okay? If it says that you're missing a house, it usually is still a sign there. So I would say try multiple different birth chart calculators, because some of them may not pick up on certain placements. But there's usually something there, right? Whether it's a few degrees off or whatever. Okay? We'll get a little bit into degrees as well. So your fourth house is all about your home, your family life, your roots or your generation, right? Your childhood. What did all those things look like, right? Fourth house is one of those very important houses when it comes to generational curses, when it comes to shadow work. A lot of information you need to excel when it comes to healing, shadow work, all of that, okay, will be in your fourth house. All right? Your emotional foundation. Okay, so what does your foundation look like when it comes to sharing your emotions? When it comes to tapping in with your emotions? What were you taught about emotions, feelings, things of that nature? Okay, and then your private self, the parts of you that you don't share with a lot of people, the parts of you that you kind of keep, in the tuck, under wraps. Okay, what do you look like behind closed doors? How do you show up behind closed doors? All right. Go ahead and screenshot this, copy this, do whatever, and then we're going to move on to our next 4. If you do not have placements in your houses, you can go and check other charts. There are multiple different birth charts, and I'm sure you will find a placement somewhere. Okay? So 4 is home and family, your roots, okay, which could also be generational curses, so on and so forth, okay. Childhood, your emotional foundation, and then your private self. I think I'm going to switch to this red marker for the next couple. 'Cause, I don't know. The black is just not showing up the way I need it to. Not as dark as I need it to be. Alright, let's move on. Remember, you have 12 houses, okay? So this is why when it comes to, you know, zodiacs and astrology, I say a lot. If you watch me and you're familiar with my content, I always tell y'all, you are not just your sun sign. You are not just your sun sign. You already have, 12 houses alone. And then you have planets, right? And then you have a north node, south node. Then you have a Chiron, right? We have so many different placements, and all of those energies come together to make us uniquely who we are. So a lot of people, when I do astrology and I'm talking about one sign, like, not me, not me. Or you hear other spiritualists or other astrologers talk about certain signs. That's not how I am. You know what I'm saying? That's not all us. Well, of course not, right? Because we have a whole bunch of different placements that come together to make you exactly who you are. Nobody has your exact chart unless they were born at the exact time, exact date, in the same hospital as you. Y'all both came out y'all mama coochie at the exact same time, at the exact same place, on the exact same day. That's the only way somebody can have your identical chart. Other than that, you're going to be completely different from other Sagittarius if you're a Sagittarius. You're going to be completely different from other Geminis if you're a Gemini. You're going to be completely different from other Virgos if you're a Virgo. Right? Everybody is different. You could be born a minute later and your chart can still be different because certain planets move at different times. So this is why when we're working with birth charts, you need your exact time, your exact date, your exact city, state, and country. Okay? Depending on the different birth charts that you pull, whether you're doing a sidereal birth chart or whatever other ones, they read the placements differently. So this is just an overall synopsis of just the basic information. Your particular placements will be based on what type of chart you pull. The information is going to be the same. The house is still going to mean the same thing. The planet is still going to mean the same thing. The basic meanings of the placements all going to mean the same thing. That's why we're breaking it down like this, right? But based on what zodiac signs you have in those places is going to be based on the chart that you pull. Okay? All right. So let's continue on. What the hell is the difference? 2 and 1. Okay. I don't know. All right, moving forward. Yes, this will be on my YouTube. All right, so our next house is our 5th house. Ooh, that's so much better. Yes, perfect. Our 5th house rules our creativity. Okay? Romance. Okay? Pleasure. Love affairs. Hobbies. And children. All right. So 5th house is creativity, right? Your ability to be creative, how you are creative, and what ways your creativity shows up. Romance. What does romance look like for you? What does that look like? Are you a romantic in this way? Are you a romantic in that way? How do you see romance? When you think about romance, what comes to mind? Okay? Pleasure. What brings you pleasure? This is not just sexual. Okay? I know that's where our mind goes sometimes. But this is not only sexual pleasure. This is pleasure, period. Okay? Love affairs. Right? So the way that you show up in love. How you love. How you present love. Alright? Hobbies. What do you like to do on the side? What this kind of ties into pleasures. Right? What are some of the things that you like to do that you would do for free? Right? Things that you wouldn't make money off of. Things that you would just do for the pleasure of it all. And then children. Your relationship with children. Your relationship with your children, with children, period. All right? 5th house. Okay? We can also add joy. All right? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? What makes you happy? 5th house. Right? So, for example, if you have a 5th house in Virgo, okay, you may find pleasure or joy in books, or learning, or studying, or something along those lines, right? If you have a 5th house in Sagittarius, you may find pleasure in traveling, adventures, being involved in different things. Okay? If you have more placements in specific houses, what does that signify? So that just means that those specific zodiac signs both share that house. They were more than one zodiac sign in that exact house at the time that you were born. So that means that that house is being occupied by 2 different energies. Okay, so both of those energies will be affecting you. All right. Where are they located? How do we know when looking at the wheel which one is first? Okay, so I'll go over what the actual wheel looks like at the end. So just stay tuned for that. I don't want to get too far off course. Do not share your birth chart placements in the comments. Keep it to yourself. It's not our business. We don't need to know. We don't need to know. All right? Your birth chart is your social security. I don't need to know what your social security number is. The same way I don't need to know your placements. The same way somebody can take advantage of you based on your social security is the same way you can be taken advantage of energetically, spiritually, astrologically when it comes to your birth chart. Okay? All right, next. 6th house. I don't like that stuff. All right, our 6th house is our health, work, routines, daily habits, responsibilities, okay, as well as our wellness center. All right, so health issues, 6th house. Okay, if you were on the live that we did when I gave you guys the body parts that each zodiac sign rules, you can use that here. Okay, if you didn't watch that live, you can go on my YouTube and you can watch that back. But each zodiac sign rules a body part. So based on what zodiac signs you have here, that can contribute to the health issues that you may have or things that you may deal with health-wise. Okay? Sixth house also is your work, okay, which would be a part of your daily habits or your routine. What type of work you do, what does a day-to-day look like for you, okay? Your responsibilities, what are some of your responsibilities that you need, okay, or that you already have, okay? My YouTube is linked in my bio, so all you gotta do is click the YouTube link and it'll take you right there, and you can subscribe from there. All right, as well as your wellness, the way that you take care of yourself, okay? PocaSPEAKS is my YouTube. I'll write it in the comments and pin it. All right. Could your sixth house predict mental health diagnosis? It can have something to do with that. Yes. I don't want to say for sure, because the sixth house doesn't particularly govern the mind, but it can have an influence on health issues, potential health issues, yes, or areas that you just need to keep in mind or pay attention to when it comes to your health and when it comes to your body. Okay, based on whatever zodiac sign you have there. Again, each zodiac sign rules and governs a certain part of the body. So let's say, for example, Gemini rules the arms. So if you have the Gemini sixth house, then, you know, you may want to pay attention to the arms or the throat chakra or, things like that. I'm trying to think of another example off the top of my head. Scorpio rules the genitals. So if you have a Scorpio placement, you may want to pay attention to, that area. So that can be womb health for women. That could be testicular health for men. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Okay? All right. Next is our seventh house. All right. Seventh house rules relationships, partnerships, marriage, contracts, and the way we relate to others. Now, some of these meanings of these houses can overlap, okay? So you may see certain words in multiple places, but overall they all have some unique features, okay? So relationships, partnerships, marriage, contracts, and the way that we relate to others is all based on your seventh house, okay? So whether you are a marriage person or are not a marriage person, if you have Sagittarius or if you have Gemini, or sometimes Pisces, sometimes Virgo in their seventh house, you may not be the biggest commitment-based person, right? When it comes to partnerships, when it comes to relationships or marriage, you may not be the biggest on that. You may not even be the biggest when it comes to contracts, right? But if you are a Cancer or a Taurus, right, or a Libra, you may be more open to contracts. You may be more open to marriage. You may be more open to relationships and partnerships on that level, okay? The way that you relate to others is another characteristic of the seventh house, right? So how do you share, how do you relate, right? In what ways are you relatable to other people? Do you see other people in yourself? Do you see yourself in other people? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. That's seventh house. Last one for this particular portion is our 8th house. Okay, that look a little crazy, but it's because I'm writing weird. 8th house is all about transformations. Shared resources. Death. Rebirth. Intimacy, which is different from sex, right? And inheritance. Okay? Thank you, my baby. All right, so our 8th house is all about transformation, shared resources, right? So not only transforming, but sharing the information on how to transform or how to be better or how to level up or how to grow. Okay? Death and rebirth. All right? How you eliminate things out of your life, right? How you rise from the ashes. This is Phoenix energy. Okay? Intimacy, the way that you connect with others intimately. That does not always mean doing the grown and nasty. There's so many other ways to be intimate, and you're not always intimate with a lover, right? This could be intimacy in friendships. This could be intimacy in your family connections. This could be intimacy between mother and child or father and child or whatever, auntie, uncle. It doesn't matter, okay? And then your inheritance, what you take on from the generation before you or from family or what you inherit, period. Okay? It doesn't just have to be money. This could be an inheritance of ideas, of values, of morals, whatever. Okay? Go ahead and screenshot this, copy this, and then we're going to move on to our final 4. All right, cool beans. Let's move on. Now, if you compare these placements, these houses, to the zodiac signs, you're going to find similarities. All right? So, for example, your first house is, ego, identity, things like that. That's very Aries. Right? Your second house is love and beauty and possessions. That's very Taurus. Okay? Your third house is communication, intellect, social interactions. That's very Gemini. Fourth house, family. What else? Childhood, emotional foundation, all of that. That's very Cancer, right? So your houses will always align with the zodiacs as they go in order. There's 12 houses, 12 zodiacs. Okay? Everything kind of is either going to align with the zodiac or it's going to align with numerology. We went through numbers and we went through zodiacs already. That was one of the first lessons that we did. Okay? What does it mean if it says MC instead of house? So your MC is also your 10th house. So we're about to do your 10th house now. Okay? MC is also 10th house. All right. Next house we have is our 9th house. Again, shout out to everybody who has been gifting. If you do want to gift and it doesn't allow you to reload on the app, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins and reload there. Also, all likes and all shares are both beneficial and helpful to the community. All right. So our 9th house will be our philosophy, travel, higher learning, spirituality, education, and journeys. Okay? What if some of our houses are empty, like no zodiac signs? So again, try and use a different birth chart. Okay, there's multiple different birth charts. So you can just, try another one. Or you can look at the degrees. Okay, so sometimes the degrees can show you certain energetic influences if you don't see it with the particular placement. Okay, and I'm gonna get a little bit into degrees as we get closer to the end. Yes, please do not share your birth placements in the comments. Please keep it to yourself. You don't need to know. All right. Okay, 9th house, philosophy. Okay, where and in what ways are you philosophical? Okay, this is very Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius are very philosophical people, right? 9th house is reflective of that. Okay, travel, how you like to travel, where you like to travel, if you like to travel. Okay, higher learning. Okay, so this would be also higher education as well. We don't need to know your birth placements. We don't need to know your birthday. We don't need to know none of that. Keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. Please, 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 please. Okay? Y'all got to get out of this obsession with sharing everything in the spiritual community. That's the last place you want to share stuff. Okay? So this is education. So whether you go to college and further your education, whether you learn through life, okay, whether you learn in a trade or something like that, okay, whatever, all right? Spirituality, okay, this kind of goes hand in hand with philosophy, right? What do you even think of these things? What is your breakdown on these things, okay? And then your journeys. How do you journey through life? What does your journey of life look like? Okay? Then we have our 10th house. Okay? 10th house is all about career. Alright, remember I said there's another house that deals with money? This is your 10th house. Your reputation. Okay? Your public image. All right? Your ambitions. Your status and legacy. Okay? So this is a very, very important house when it comes to what you want to leave behind. right? What do I want my legacy to be, right? And all of these meanings basically kind of coincide with legacy, right? So your career will dictate your legacy, depending on what your career is, right? Most people's careers go hand in hand with their legacy. Your reputation, that goes back to legacy, right? How do I want to be remembered? How do I want to be viewed? Okay, very 10th house. Your public image, how do I want the world to see me? What light do I want them to see me in? Okay, my ambitions, what am I working towards? This is heavy Capricorn energy. All right, what am I working towards? All right, what do I want out of this life? What do I want out of, the things that I'm working towards, or what do I want out of the things that I'm ambitious about? Okay? Then we have our 11th house. This is Aquarius energy. And this represents our friendships, our community, our goals, social groups, networking, all right? So 11th house, friendship, community, all right? The goals that we have in life, the things that we want to accomplish, okay? Our social groups, right? What types of groups do we socialize with? Everybody doesn't socialize with the same type of people, right? You have your people who are more, meek, right? Who are more mild behaving, right? Our homebodies, our people who are more to themselves. And then you have our loud people. We have our, in your face type of people, our social butterflies, right? Networking, what are the type of people that you build with? Who are the type of people that you connect with when it comes to getting things done? When it comes to furthering yourself or your life, or taking yourself to another place, to another path, okay? This can also be partnered up with career. All right, networking for career, networking for projects, networking for just personal life, okay? Last but not least, we have our 12th house, which is Pisces energy. All right. First, yes. Represents our subconscious, hidden realms, spirituality, dreams, karma or endings, solitude, all right? So our 12th house is all about the subconscious. or aka the spiritual realm. This is one of our most spiritual houses. Okay? Hidden realms. Okay? So lots of shadow things, lots of things unseen. The things that you can't touch, the things that you can't necessarily feel. All right? Spirituality, the way that we view spirituality, the way we tap in spiritually, our idea of spirituality, the way that we connect with the spiritual realm. All right? Dreams, whether that's literally or figuratively. Okay, so your literal dreams that you have, again, when you go to sleep at night, or the dreams that you have for your life, your goals, your aspirations, when it comes to what you want your reality to look like. Okay? Karma, right? What you receive on the back end from whatever you have put out. Endings, because it is the 12th house, it is the last house, right? So this can represent how things end, how things usually go when they have come to a close for you, and what that might look like. As well as solitude. So this is the time that you spend by yourself. What does it look like when you are in solitude? What does it look like when you are spending time with yourself, by yourself? All right? Go ahead and screenshot this, and then we're going to move on to what we call our aspects. Sweetheart, I would never come to church and stand up and take the mic and say, all y'all going to hell, it's really about the ancestors, y'all need to start studying astrology. I would never do that, because I will respect the space and I respect the beliefs of that space. Don't come into this space and not respect our beliefs. We don't need you to come and tell us what you think about and what you feel about what you believe. We don't care. Alright? So respect the space, or you can leave the space. I don't understand why Christians feel the need to come where they don't have to be and tell us things that we don't need to know. Respect the space or leave the space. Those are your only two options. All right. Everybody got this? All right, cool. Now we're about to move into our aspects. Thank you, Pumpkin. We do these classes every Monday and Wednesday between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the lesson for today. Wednesday will be I'll be teaching on crystals and meditation. So make sure that y'all come back for that one too. Tomorrow we'll do our reading. We do readings as well throughout the week. So tomorrow will be our reading day. It's a general reading for the collective. And then Thursday is our topic days, where usually I pick a topic and we can do a panel, or we can do Q&As, whatever. Okay? Fridays are also another reading day. Sundays are also another reading day. All right, so now we're about to get into what we call our aspects. okay? Our aspects is how the planets work together, okay? So it's how the planets work together. I don't have the schedule written out, but I will I'll post a video today. Matter of fact, let me write it out right here real fast, and then y'all can screenshot it. That way everybody can have it, and y'all will know what we're doing. All right. Screenshot that. Hopefully y'all can see. Screenshot that real fast. And then we're going to get into our aspects. Everybody got it? You're welcome. All right, perfect. All right, let's move on. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. All right, aspects. All right. Our aspects is the relationships between planets. Okay, so this is how our planets relate to each other, how they connect with each other, and what that looks like when they do so. Okay? So our first aspect is a conjunction. Alright? A conjunction is at 0 degrees. And we're going to get into degrees in a second, so bear with me when it comes to that. Alright? Conjunctions intensify energies and blend the forces of those energies. So conjunction is basically the energies come together, evil twin, evil twin. All right? Then we have a sextile. Sextiles happen at 60 degrees. Sextiles are more harmonious. Okay? Sextiles present opportunities. And ease. So when planets are sextiling each other, they're working together. They're hand in hand. They besties. All right? They're flowing with each other and creating opportunities, creating harmony. Okay? Then we have our square. Our square happens at 90 degrees, right? Square, 90, square, 90, all right? And squares are tension. They bring tension in, okay? They present us with challenges. And they provoke growth. All right? So squares are going to come in and they're going to provide a little bit of tension, but this is going to be tension that's going to be helpful for you to grow. It's going to be challenges that are all happening for your benefit. Is it fine if we don't have the exact time of birth, since I estimated mine from what my mom said? Your exact time of birth is going to give you your exact birth chart. But if you don't have the exact time, then certain things could potentially be off. You can estimate based on what your mom said, but that doesn't mean that your birth chart will be, exactly correct. There could be certain placements that are a little bit off. All right? So I would recommend trying to get your exact birth chart. Baby, don't tell us what you got going on in your birth chart. I know you guys want to share. I know you guys are excited, but don't tell us, okay? Keep it to yourself. We don't need to know. We don't need to know. Okay? Next, we have our trine. All right? Our trine happens at 120 degrees. Okay? It's okay, babe. Our trine is all about natural talent. Flow. And luck. Okay? So our trine can give us a boost, okay? Can help us excel. All right? Last but not least, we have our opposition. All right? Our opposition is all about balance. Oh, I'm sorry. It's at 180 degrees. It's all about balance. External conflicts. Do I have enough space? as well as polarity. Okay? So our aspects are our relationships between the planets. So we have planets that are always moving and doing the things that they're doing, right? Based on what they're doing in our birth chart, it's going to have one of these several relationships at a time. So you may have your Mercury and your Venus conjuncting. You could have your Pluto and Uranus in a trine. Okay? So remember, your birth chart depicts where everything was at the moment you were born. But after that moment, things continue to change, right? So this is when we get into what we call horoscopes. Your horoscope is an updated version of what's going on with those planets ever since you were born. So each day from that date and time of your birth, those planets have been moving and doing different shit, and that affects you in some type of way, shape, or form. That's what a horoscope is. It's saying, okay, you know, based on your birth chart, right now, the planets are doing X, Y, and Z in these specific zodiac signs, which is causing you to feel blah, 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 blah. Okay? Screenshot this, and then we're going to move into our special points. Yes. Screenshot it, screenshot it, screenshot it. If you can't see the bottom, swipe the comments off, and then screenshot it. It should let you see the full board if the comments are in the way. I'm going to give y'all 10 more seconds, and then we're going to clear this off and move on to our special points, and then I'm going to go through some of the degrees with you guys. Turn the comments off. You swipe the chat. So you can swipe it. I don't know if it's left or right, but you can just swipe it away. If it's not letting you, hold on, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna turn them off for a second and then I'm gonna turn it back on. Go ahead, screenshot it, and then I'm gonna turn the comments back on. All right. Good. They said if you have an iPhone, hold down on the screen and it should let you. All right, let's move on. Okay, good. Again, you can rewatch this on YouTube and it'll be posted tomorrow. Again, thank you guys for all the people who sent gifts, all the people who contributed to the likes and the shares. It is much appreciated. If you do want to send a gift, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins, and it should allow you to reload your gifts there. All right. All right, so now we're going to get into our special points. Okay? All right, our first point is our North Node. All right? Your North Node is your life path, as well as karmic lessons. Life path and karmic lessons. All right. Our South Node is going to be your past life karma, as well as your comfort zones. Now, the thing about North Node and South Node, it's always going to be the opposing sign, quote unquote, the sister sign. All right? So if you have a North Node in Aries, then your South Node is automatically Libra. If you have a North Node in Sagittarius, then your South Node is automatically Gemini. Okay? It's always the sister sign. It's always on the complete opposite of the chart. All right? So that's the easy way to kind of keep up with it if you know sister signs. All right? Then we have our Chiron, or some people say Chiron. Just depends on how you say it. It's all the same shit. This represents your deepest wounds. As well as healing. So these are the areas, especially with shadow work, that you need to look at, okay? Because it's going to give you some insight on what your wounds are and what areas of your life you may need to be healing or working towards healing. Next, we have our Lilith. Our Lilith represents repressed desires, and our raw feminine power. Ooh, if they paid me to spell feminine all the time, I would. Don't put a gun to my head and ask me to spell that. But our raw feminine power. This will be on YouTube tomorrow. Thank you. Then we have what we call our vertex. And this is our fated encounters. As well as our destiny points. Alright, so these are the things that we just kind of fated to experience, the people were fated to experience. or the things we're fated to go through based on our destiny. All right, these are your special points. Go ahead and screenshot that, and then we'll move on to our degrees. So your vertex should be on your birth chart. So usually it'll be up under. So usually you'll have your big three, sun, moon, and rising. Then you'll have your planets. Then you have your houses. And then you'll see these placements. So it's usually towards the bottom after you get through the houses. But it should all be on your birth chart. No problem. Thank you for the gifts. All right, everybody got this down? Because we're about to move on to our degrees. All right, let's move on. Let's get into our degrees. Now this may take a little minute, so bear with me when it comes to the degrees. Okay? Now, you have your birth chart placements, right? But with each placement, it is at a certain degree. All right? Meaning it's either in the beginning of that energy, towards the middle of that energy, or towards the end of that energy. Based on where it is, it will mean certain things specifically for you with that placement. So you can have Sagittarius in your moon placement at 3 degrees, right? You can have Aquarius in your Uranus placement at 21 degrees, okay? It all means something different, right? Yes, you have that sign in that placement, but then that placement also means something different based on what degree it is on. So we're going to go through the degrees so that you can read it. Each birth chart is going to tell you you have this place at this many degrees. So you usually will see a number in parentheses with the little degree symbol beside it, and that's basically it telling you that's where it's located. Okay? So I'm going to go in order based on zodiac sign and let you know what each degree means for each zodiac placement. Okay? Because based on what zodiac sign it means something different for the degree that it's in. Alright? So we're going to go Aries, Taurus, Gemini. We're going to do 3 at a time. Alright? So starting with Aries. Okay? Aries degrees 0 through 9. Alright? Is fiery energy. Very impulsive. Strong leadership. Okay? Aries 10 through 19 is competitive, strategic, and action with purpose. Okay? Aries 20 through 29. There's 29 total degrees for each placement. This is the master of Aries energy. This is the warrior. And this is the risk taker. Okay? Now, this can also be the same for when you have overall. So we have our personal birth charts, but then we also have different planets shifting regularly, right? So we know that the moon shifts every 28 days to a the moon shifts really every couple of days to a new sign, right? And it has a full complete trip every 28 days. So let's say that the moon is currently in Aries and it's at 15 degrees. Then it would apply here. Okay? Let's say Sagittarius right now is in Uranus, right? Or let's say Aries is in Uranus right now at 25 degrees. Then it will take on this particular meaning. Alright? So not only does this apply to your birth chart, but this also applies to what's going on overall with the planets. Alright? I may not be able to fit all. Well, I'll do Gemini on that side. Next we have Taurus. Taurus. Zero to 9 degrees for Taurus. It's very grounded. Connected to nature. And the material world. Okay? Taurus at 10 to 19 degrees. Is very sensual. Very creative. Strong values. And persistent. Okay? Taurus at 20 to 29 degrees. This is where you master patience. There's stability. And strong financial instincts. All right. So in Taurus energy, 0 to 9 degrees, you are grounded. You're connected to nature and the material world. 10 to 19 degrees, very sensual energy, creative energy. You are strong in your values, very persistent. 20 to 29 degrees, you master patience, stability, and strong financial instincts. Alright, go ahead and screenshot this, and then I'm going to do Gemini and Cancer. Alright, good. Everybody got it? Now again, these degrees not only have relevance for your birth chart, but also for where the planets are. So you always need to kind of have an idea of where the planets are anyway, because that's going to affect your day, regardless of your birth chart, right? Because we're affected by all the planets and all of the movement that they got going on. It's heightened for some of us based on our personal birth charts, but we're all affected by it. Okay? So you can go look at the moon right now. The moon is going to be at a certain degree in a certain sign, and you can take this and kind of figure out what that means overall. And then you can partner that up with your birth chart, and then you can figure out how that affects you personally. All right, let's do Cancer, well, Gemini and Cancer. Let me move this up so I have a little bit more space to write here. Yes, thank you for sharing. All right. Gemini. Okay. 0 through 9 degrees. This is curious energy. This is quick-witted energy. And this is great communication. Actually, let me write communication to the side so I have space down here. All right. 10 to 19 degrees. In Gemini, this is high intelligence. Very adaptable. And a love for learning. (20 to 29 degrees) in Gemini. This is a master of the Gemini energy. These are our influential speakers. Or writer. Okay, aka I know-it-alls. Then we have our Cancer, 0 to 9 degrees. Cancer. They are deeply emotional. Protective. And intuitive. (10 to 19 degrees in Cancer. Strong sense of home. Nurturing. And psychic. Is that the right one? Yes. All right. Then 20 to 29 degrees. These are masters of emotional depth. And strong connection to ancestry. All right, so for Gemini, 0 to 9 degrees, they're curious, quick-witted, and great communicators. 10 to 19 degrees, highly intelligent, adaptable, and they love learning. 20 to 29 degrees, they master the Gemini energy, and they are influential speakers or writers, aka know-it-alls. Okay? Cancer, 0 to 9 degrees, they are deeply emotional, protective, and intuitive. They have a strong sense of home, nurturing, very nurturing, and psychic. 20 to 29 degrees, they master emotional depth and they have a strong connection to ancestry. All right, go ahead and screenshot that, and then we're going to move on to Leo and Virgo. Alright, let's move on. All right, Leo. Leo, 0 to 9 degrees. These are natural performers. They are radiant. And love attention. To 19. They're confident. Creative. And they have leadership potential. To 29. They master personal expression. And are highly charismatic. All right. Virgo. 0 to 9 degrees. Detail oriented. Perfectionist. And strong work ethic. To 19 degrees. Highly analytical. Service driven. So they like to do acts of service and strong intuition. To 29 degrees. They master precision. And they have the ability to heal and teach. All right, go ahead and screenshot that. And then we'll move on to Libra and Scorpio. So for Leo, 0 to 9 degrees, they're natural performers, they're radiant, and they love attention. 10 to 19 degrees, they are confident, creative, and have leadership potential. 20 to 29 degrees, they master personal expression and are highly charismatic. Oops. Virgo, 0 to 9 degrees, they're detail-oriented, perfectionists, and they have a strong work ethic. 10 to 19 degrees, they are highly analytical, service-driven, and have strong intuition. And then 20 to 29 degrees, they master precision and have the ability to heal and teach. Alright, let's get ready to move on to our next one. Our next two, rather. Now, quick little pop quiz. When I use these degrees, are my degrees only for my birth chart? Is this only for my birth chart? Can I only use it when it comes to my placements in my birth chart? Okay, where else can I use these degrees? Where else would these degrees matter? Good job. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, Libra, 0 to 9 degrees. Diplomatic. And seeking balance in all things, all areas. Okay? (10 to 19 degrees). Strong relationship skills. and they have an artistic sense. All right. 20 to 29 degrees. They master harmony. And they have a deep understanding of justice. Okay? Scorpio. Zero to 9 degrees. Is intense energy. Magnetic energy. And transformative. To 19 degrees. Strong intuition. Psychic gifts. And passionate. To 29 degrees. This is where they master power. They have profound depth. And themes of rebirth. All right. So Libra, 0 to 9 degrees. They're very diplomatic and they seek balance. 10 to 19 degrees, they have strong relationship skills and an artistic sense. Okay, so very artistic in energy. 20 to 29 degrees, they master harmony and they have a deep understanding of justice. Scorpio, 0 to 9 degrees, they are intense, magnetic, and transformative. 10 to 19 degrees, they are strong intuitively. They have psychic gifts and very passionate. 20 to 29 degrees, they master their power. They have profound depth. And they have different themes of rebirth. Okay, so that can be different things of rebirth in different areas of their life. At the end, I'm going to do a Q&A, so make sure you stick around for that. Again, we do have a live gift goal, so feel free to gift as you see fit. If you need to reload your gifts, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins, and that will allow you to reload there. Also, likes and shares do help with the community as well. All right, I'm gonna give y'all some time to screenshot that, and then we're moving on to Sagittarius and Capricorn. All right, moving right along. Shout out to everybody who's been helping in the comments, passing along information. Shout out to Miss Miko for assisting me. I appreciate it very, very much. We are a community over here. Each one teach one. Everybody helps. We're all learning. We're all growing. So feel free to help each other or to even ask questions. All right? All right. Sagittarius. To 9 degrees for my Sagittarius. They are adventurous. They love freedom. And seek truth. To 19 degrees. Highly philosophical. And they love teaching and learning. To 29 degrees. They master expansion. And they have a strong spiritual awareness. Okay? Capricorn. To 9 degrees for Capricorn. They are ambitious. Disciplined. And responsible. To 19 degrees. They are practical. Hardworking. And great leaders. To 29 degrees. They master perseverance. And they are legacy builders. All right. So Sagittarius, 0 to 9 degrees. They are adventurous. They love freedom and they seek truth. 10 to 19 degrees. They are highly philosophical. They love teaching and learning. 20 to 29 degrees. They master expansion and have a strong spiritual awareness. Capricorn, 0 to 9 degrees. They are ambitious, disciplined, and responsible. 10 to 19 degrees. They are practical, hardworking, and great leaders. 20 to 29 degrees. They master perseverance and they are legacy builders. Okay? Or they're legacy focused. Go ahead and screenshot that, and then we'll move on to Aquarius and Pisces, our two final ones. After we finish Aquarius and Pisces, I will do a quick Q&A, and then we'll be done for today. Shout out to everybody who's been here from the beginning. If you've been watching from the beginning, throw a heart in the comments. If this is your first time watching, throw a heart in the comments. Shout out to all the first timers. Shout out to the people who've been here since the beginning. Make sure that you follow so you can stay a part of this community. We are a community over here. I'm not just one of them people that just come on here to take your likes and your views and your comments and your stuff. You know what I'm saying? We are a community. I love teaching. I love educating. I love sharing knowledge and information and wisdom and downloads and my gifts in totality. So definitely make sure that you stick around. We nicknamed my following or my platform the Polka Dots. So if you're here, you are an official Polka Dot. Welcome, and make sure you stick around. All right, our final signs. We'll start with Aquarius. Aquarius, 0 to 9 degrees. They are revolutionary. Highly intelligent. And forward thinkers. I don't have space right here. Just a little bit down here. Forward thinkers. Ten to 19 degrees. They are innovative. Deeply connected to social causes. If you can't read it, I'll go back over it at the end. I'm trying to write small enough for me to fit multiple things on here. 20 to 29 degrees. They master individuality. visionary energy. All right. Pisces, 0 to 9 degrees. They are the dreamers. Highly intuitive. And compassionate. All right. 10 to 19 degrees. They are spiritual. Artistic. And connected to deep emotions. Okay. I'm going to do a Q&A once I finish doing a recap for these two signs, so just hold your questions, okay? 20 to 29 degrees. They mastered universal love. And they have profound mysticism. All right. So Aquarius, 0 to 9 degrees. They're revolutionary, highly intelligent, and they're forward thinkers. 10 to 19 degrees. They are innovative, deeply connected to social causes. 20 to 29 degrees. They master individuality, and they have visionary energy. All right. Pisces, 0 to 9 degrees. They are the dreamers. Highly intuitive and compassionate. 10 to 19 degrees. They are spiritual, artistic, and connected to deep emotions. 20 to 29 degrees. They master universal love and have profound mysticism. Go ahead and screenshot that, and then we're going to get into our Q&A. Also, if you can contribute, let's see if we can hit our live goal before we end. Feel free to gift as you see fit. All gifts are appreciated. All likes are appreciated. All comments and shares are also appreciated. If you need to reload your gifts, you can go to www.tiktok.com/coins. All right. Also, the schedule for the lives that I do over here. Monday to Wednesday, we do lessons. Usually I start between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the gift. Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, we do our general readings. That is usually between 3 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursdays, we do a topic/Q&A, and that's usually between 4 and 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you show up for all of the lives. Everything is always informative, just like this, whether it's coming in the form of a reading or a channel message, whether it's a topic, whether we're doing Q&A, or whether we're doing a lesson. Wednesday's lesson will be on crystals and meditation. So make sure that you are in attendance for Wednesday's lesson as well. Alright, so I'm going to clean this board. You guys can start putting your questions in the comments. And by the time I am finished cleaning the board, then we'll go through the questions in order, in the order they are typed in the comments. Alright. Zoom out. Oops. Alright, let's get through some of these comments or questions rather. How do we figure out which degree we fall under? So that would be based on your birth chart. So you can find your birth chart for free online. You can go to Google and just type in free birth chart calculator, and it will take you to a website that has the function to calculate the planets and the placements and everything at your time of birth. You do need to know your birth time. The exact time will give you the most accurate breakdown of your birth chart. If you don't know the exact time, if it's not on your birth certificate, then you can go to, I forget what local office you can go to, but you can get your official birth certificate, like the official document, or you can go to the hospital at which you were born, and they should usually have your record of birth or whatever and should be able to tell you your time. But you have to have your time for the most accurate calculation of your birth chart. If you do not have the exact time, then some of the placements can be off. Okay? Alright, let's see what else is here. This video is going to be available on YouTube. My YouTube is PocaSPEAKS, PocaSpeaks. Type that in and subscribe. This will be posted tomorrow rising. Okay, so around about like 6:30-ish a.m. I try to catch y'all while y'all on y'all way to work or early in the day so that you can always go back and watch it, or you'll have it when you need it. Okay? What is the best app or website for your accurate birth chart? So there's a couple different apps that you can use. AstroSeek is a good one. Astrology Cafe or Cafe Astrology. I don't know which one goes first. That's a good one. I mean, they all kind of use the same server, I guess, or the same calculator. The only difference is there's different types of birth charts. So you have standard birth charts, you have your sidereal birth charts. I can't think of some of the other ones off the top of my head, but there's different types of birth charts. So depending on what birth chart you're looking at, some of the placements may be a little different by a couple degrees. Or you may have a completely different zodiac sign in that space. But all of the meanings that I gave you, all of the background is still going to be the same. The placements just may be different. Okay. Long form for vital records from your state or the county clerk. Okay, so yeah, you can go get it from your county clerk. Some people use Nebula. I've heard of Nebula. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Any other specific questions? Again, your degrees will be listed on your chart. Okay. So usually it will say, it will have the placements, and then you'll see the little numbers beside it. Those numbers beside it are the degrees that we just went through. Okay. Also, use your degrees when you're looking at the regular chart for just the day, right? So you have your birth chart, but then you also have a chart for each day, you know, based on where the planets are. All right. So let's say today, the moon is in, this is just an example. Let's say today the moon is in Aries at 3 degrees. Then you can use what we put down for Aries for 3 degrees as an explanation for the energy for today. Or if Venus is in Taurus right now at 19 degrees, then you can go look at Taurus, you can look at 19 degrees, and then you can partner that up with the energy of Venus. Okay? If I say another number next to the degree, what is that? What you mean? Like, put an example in the comments of what you mean. Do the shape and lines they create mean anything? So yes, we went through aspects. Aspects are the ways that the planets relate to each other, or the relationship that they have with each other as they are moving. So that's on the video as well. Some of y'all may be a little late. So we went through aspects, we went through degrees, we went through each planet, we went through all of the houses. We cover all of that. So you may have to just watch this from the beginning tomorrow, and that will probably answer some of y'all questions if you came in a little later. Gemini, 5 degrees, 24. 5 degrees, 22. I'm not sure. I'm not sure completely what that second number would be. I would have to look at the chart to try to see what that means off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I would go with the 5. The 5 will symbolize more of what the degree is based on what we went over today. But I'm not particularly sure about the second number. Feel free to Google it though. You know what I'm saying? Google it, look it up. I gave y'all kind of the basics of what all of this was. But yeah, some of the other specifics like that, because everybody's birth chart is so different, you may have to kind of research on your own. But that's a good thing that you brought to my attention, because now I'm gonna go look that up so I can have a better understanding of what that means. What does it mean if my sun sign is in the 12th house? So basically what they're saying is the sign that you have in your sun is also located in your 12th house. Okay. If the degree is over 29, what does that mean? You shouldn't have a degree over 29 unless it's showing you an aspect. So an aspect will be showing you more of the fullness of the chart. So the whole chart is 180, and then each sign has 29 degrees. Or, yeah. So 0 to 29 for each, but the fullness of it will be 180. Yeah, it also depends on what chart you're looking at. All charts are not the same. So you have different types of birth charts. All right. So it depends on what birth chart you're studying or what birth chart you're using as well. Because they kind of read differently, even though the placements all mean the same thing. The way that they're depicted and the way that they're explained, or or some of the degrees are different. Yeah, we went through houses, maybe a little late, so you can watch it from the beginning when it's posted. All right, everybody good? So tomorrow we'll be doing a general reading. It will be more of a channel message because I do have some dreams that I need to relay to you guys, with some messages that come with it. So definitely tune in for that tomorrow. Then Wednesday we'll go over crystals and meditation. Thursday we'll do a topic. I'm not sure exactly what the topic will be as of yet, so we'll figure that out Thursday. Or sometimes I don't know what we're gonna talk about until I literally get here and I'm about to go live. So I don't want to speak too soon, but we will do a topic / Q&A Thursday. I will probably open the floor up for a panel for Thursday as well. So definitely check in for that. And then Friday we'll do a general reading to close out the week. Sunday we'll do a general reading to open up the week. Okay? So first house doesn't always have the sun sign in it. Exactly. Your first house is always your rising sign, right? But sometimes it can have your sun sign, the same sign that your sun can also be in your first house. Or the sun was in a first house placement, in your first house placement. I'm doing a Q&A right now, so if you have questions, go ahead and type them before I hop off of here. Ooh, Kobe. Thank you, and shout out to you, Miss Miko, for helping me and assisting me in the comments. It is much appreciated. Super appreciated. Shout out to everybody who was kind of responding to other people and kind of helping them along. It was definitely appreciated. I can't always see what's being commented or stop to answer certain questions while we're in the lesson. So I definitely appreciate you guys for being a community and helping each other and assisting each other. Are aspects the houses? No, aspects are not the houses. So when I post this video on YouTube, you'll see everything together and it'll make sense because we went through houses and then we went through aspects. Aspects are the ways that the planets communicate with each other. So an aspect will either show that these two planets are cool right now, or they are opposing each other, or they have a little tension between each other and presenting challenges. It just depends on what the aspect is and what degree it is at. Okay? Use this information as a foundation and kind of build off of it, right? So if you have more particular specific questions in regards to your personal birth chart, you may have to Google those things individually. ChatGPT is very helpful for that. You can literally put your whole birth chart and all your placements into ChatGPT and be like, explain all this shit to me. And it will do that. You can screenshot it and upload the screenshot to ChatGPT. Be like, look, make this shit make sense. And it will do that. What I gave you today is just an overall kind of synopsis of what all of these things mean overall in general. When it comes to your personal birth chart, you would have to look at your personal birth chart. Yes, I do offer services to go through your birth chart with you. I'll pull it from a website that I trust, and then I'll kind of go through it with you, and also send you a audio recording of everything that we went through, as you know, just something so you can have all of the information. So that could be booked on my website. Also, I am still running specials on my website right now for services. So consultation services, astrology services, reading services, healing services, all of those different things. If you spend $50 on any of those services, you get 20% off of an additional service. So you can get 2 services, one full price, and then the other one 20% off. The promo code is PocaHonest, just like in my name, PocaHonest. type that promo code in at checkout, and it will calculate your discount for you. But it's only for healing services. It's not for books. It's not for t-shirts or any other things that may be on my website. It is only for reading, consultation, mentorship, and astrology services. Okay, so my website is in my bio. Feel free to use that. That promo code will be discontinued on the 15th, which is, so basically Friday at 11:59 will be your last opportunity to use that. All right, lovelies, love and light. I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. I'll get started tomorrow, maybe a tad bit earlier, so maybe like 3:30 p.m. ish. And then we'll be back on Wednesday to do our lesson on crystals and meditation. Okay, this will be posted onto YouTube tomorrow rising, probably around like 6:15 a.m. ish. It'll go live so that you guys, it'll either premiere or it'll go live, it depends. But you'll be able to watch it from the beginning and get all of your notes and have it to continuously be able to go back to it. Okay, I do also have a mentorship special going on right now. I have 2 different mentorships. One is a spiritual beginners mentorship where we go over shadow work, ancestor veneration, crystals and meditation, and spiritual health and sex magic. The other one is a spiritual advanced mentorship where we go through the 5 clairs, birth charts and astrology, moon phases, numerology, and cleansing and protection rituals. And then you also get buy one, get one free. So you pay for the mentorship and then you get a free 10-minute reading at the end of the mentorship. So that is available. Also, I do have counseling sessions that are available. You can either do a custom counseling session where you basically let me know what the schedule that it is that you want, whether you want to meet twice a week, 3 times a week, every other week, once every 2 weeks, whatever, for however much amount of time, whether that's for a month, 2 months, 3 months, up to 6 months, up to a year, and then we can figure out a price for you. So if you're interested in any of those things, you can look on the website. If you do not see what you're looking for on the website, fill out the contact form on the website, kind of detailing what it is that you're looking for, what you want. And I'll respond to you with some options. We can negotiate a price, and then we can move on from there. All right? So go check those things out. Again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day, of your evening, of your night, wherever you are. Maybe your morning. I don't know. Have a good day, or your rising. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right?